Judge, this is a case of Cassidy's.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Miss Cassidy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
We were married for several years, and he adopted my son from my first marriage, which meant my first husband relinquished all rights, and he doesn't want to take care of the child anymore now that we're divorced.
Okay, sir, is there a reason you don't want to take care of your son?
Well, he's not my son.
Well, yes, he is. You adopted him.
I thought I was in love with her. I just wanted to please her.
So you didn't really love the child at all, your son? Because
Well,
he is your son, just so we're clear. You're not going to be able to say things like, it's not my child. You adopted this child legally. This is your child.
Well, he's not blood. He's her son. He's not my blood son. He's a redhead.
What does
I
that have
would
to do
never
with
have a
anything,
redhead
the
kid.
color
I
of his
hate
hair?
redhead kids.
What does the color of his hair have to do with
I
anything?
just always hated redheaded kids.
Okay. How did the two of you meet?
Well, I had been divorced several years.
Get ready, folks. This courtroom showdown is about to get intense. The scene opens with dramatic music as Judge Vonda Bailey takes her seat, setting the stage for what promises to be a heated legal battle. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Enter Miss Cassidy, calm on the surface but clearly full of emotion. She lays out her case. Her ex-husband voluntarily adopted her son from a previous marriage, but now that they're divorced, he's refusing to support the child he once vowed to raise. Then, the ex-husband speaks and things escalate quickly. He coldly dismisses responsibility, stating, "He's not my biological son." Gasps fill the courtroom, but Judge Vonda Bailey isn't having any of it. She shuts down his argument immediately, making it clear that adoption isn't just symbolic. It's a legally binding commitment, just as real as biological parenthood. The drama is at an all-time high, and trust me, this is just the beginning.
And so
Yes,
my
he's a
friends-
farmer.
Ma'am. I will give you your opportunity to speak in just a moment. Okay? Go ahead, sir.
So my friends took me out to a club. I call them mammary clinics. Took me
Okay.
out to a mammary clinic for my birthday. And that's where I met her. And she strapped it to me. And I fell in love with her that night. And
You fell in love enough to adopt her son.
to marry her. Because I thought I was in love with her.
Okay.
And so we got married and she coaxed me into adopting her kid.
Okay. You
The
adopted
redheaded
your
one.
child.
Yeah.
And you're here today because she wants you to
Pay child support.
pay
for
child
that
support
kid.
and take care of your child.
He's more of a ballerina than he is a boy.
What do you mean by a ballerina?
I don't want that kid. He's
Sir, you adopted this child.
well. Let his own father adopt him back.
Wait a minute. His father terminated his rights and you adopted this child.
Well, she can talk.
I'm not about to play this game with you, sir. Mr. Cassidy, we're not doing that today, okay? This is your child. You legally adopted the child. And you can be legally responsible for paying child support as well.
Well, his first dad gave up his rights. How come I can't give up my rights?
Well, you know what? We're not doing that today. Today, you're going to take care of this child, okay?
Okay, what?
And you're not going to give him up because he's...
And here's where things take a jaw-dropping turn. The ex-husband admits he only adopted the child to please Miss Cassidy, not because he actually cared. But wait, it gets worse. He then mocks the child, calling him a ballerina and complaining about his red hair. Yes, seriously. As if hair color has anything to do with parenting. Miss Cassidy even reveals that she once dyed her son's hair to try and make the ex-husband more accepting. Can you believe that? At this point, the judge's frustration is clear, and honestly, we all feel the same way. His excuses are beyond shallow, making it painfully obvious that he's more concerned about himself than the well-being of his child.
No.
He don't fish.
Sir, Mr. Cassidy, how much money do you make a year?
Approximately 83.
83,000. And ma'am, now I'm to you. What does this mean, farmer?
I'd rather not go into detail.
Okay. $83,000 a year. And sir, you said, how many other children do you have?
I have two.
2, okay. So you have 3 kids
They're
total.
not redheaded either.
Sir, the color of their hair should not affect whether or not you decide to be a father to those children versus your adopted son. You understand?
I understand.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you understand. I have
Judge?
your gross. Yes, ma'am.
So I've dyed the little boy's hair now, so
What color is his hair now, ma'am?
His hair is the same color of his now.
And you all are aware that the color of this child's hair doesn't matter in terms of the financial responsibility, right?
I understand that, but he doesn't, so I'm just trying to make it to where he
I don't want
likes
to buy
his son.
tutus for
You
the
know
rest
what?
of
It is
his life.
ridiculous. She even had to dye the child's hair to even make you receive any type of comfort, sir. That's ridiculous. Now, at $83,000 a year, I have your gross at $6,916.67.
Wow.
Who carries health insurance for this child?
I do.
How much is it for the child only?
$230 a month.
$230. Okay, sir, you're going to reimburse that to her monthly. Yes, you are. And your net comes out to $5,482.88.
Oh my. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
What? Do we need to call an ambulance? You okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe an ambulance might help me.
Okay. Well, right now I'm getting ready to help you with these numbers, okay?
Or a
Giving you
12
credit for
gauge.
the other children that you have. Your child support obligation is $808.72 plus the health insurance reimbursement of $230 a month. That makes your monthly obligation $1,038.72.
Okay, that's gonna.
Okay, and
Judge?
you can afford it. It's 83. You make $83,000, sir.
Now, it's time to get down to business. The judge reviews the ex-husband's income, $83,000 a year, and calculates his child support payments, $88.75 per month, plus an additional $230 for health insurance. Of course, he's not happy about it. He starts whining about his farming expenses as if that somehow excuses him from his financial responsibilities. Miss Cassidy attempts to request back pay, but the judge explains that since it wasn't included in the paperwork, she can't grant it. The ex-husband's sarcastic remarks about his farm only make things worse. But Judge Bailey isn't budging. She reminds him in no uncertain terms that he's legally obligated to support the child, no matter how he feels about it.
Well, there's a lot of overhead for farming.
Well, you know what?
Now-
Dye your hair red.
Well, that's not going to help me pay my bills. That's
It
not going to help
might.
me feed my cattle.
Well, you know what? You might want to choose some different alternatives.
Well, you got to eat. That's what. Where do you think your food comes from?
You grow my food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I pay for it from you, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to continue to grow your food, and you're going to take care of this child, who's now the hair is dyed because you had a problem with the color of the child's hair. Ridiculous. Is there anything further here?
Yes, the last year that he hasn't paid, can he pay the back pay as well?
You know what? That is a great question. Are you asking for back pay today, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, unfortunately, you did not put that in your paperwork that you filed with the court request.
Just when you think this case can't get any wilder, Miss Cassidy drops a hilarious suggestion. Maybe her ex-husband could avoid paying child support by remarrying her. Even the judge has to laugh at that one. But she quickly clarifies, this isn't a reunification court. The case is dismissed, and the ex-husband is officially ordered to pay up. Despite the ruling, his attitude remains dismissive and unapologetic. It's painfully clear he just doesn't get it and probably never will. The segment ends on a mix of humor and frustration, leaving us all shaking our heads at his audacity.
Unfortunately, if you did not ask previously, I can't award it to you.
Okay.
So, monthly obligation. Listen,
Judge, there's another
you don't
option.
need all of that.
If he wants to come back and remarry me, we can do that. Then he won't have to worry about child support.
Well, I mean, that's an option.
I'm going back to my ex-wife.
That's an option.
I've got my other wife and kids. They're coming back. We're back
I just
together.
thought as long as he was
okay.
going back and forth, you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
No going back.
Well, I'm glad to see that you moved on, and I'm glad to see that you're open to that possibility. But unfortunately, this is not reunification court.
Maybe she
This is
should go
child
back to
support
the
court.
memory clinic and go to
So,
work.
well, guess what? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want to give that to your wife? Maybe she'll have you comb your hair.
Get out here.
Finally, Judge Vonda Bailey steps in to break it all down. She explains the legal implications of step-parent adoption under Texas law, emphasizing that once you adopt a child, the responsibility doesn't end, even after a divorce. She encourages viewers to subscribe and share their stories, reinforcing the idea that these cases go beyond legal battles. They're about real children's lives. By the end of this segment, one thing is certain. After watching this, you'll never see child support cases the same way again.